If you are the parent of a child that has a Taurus or a Scorpio moon, this one's for you. The moon is our emotional center, and the way we experience our moon sign throughout our lives is very much impacted by our early childhood. And please remember, you guys, we always look at the entire chart to really get the full picture. So look at the house placement of the moon, any aspects of the moon, along with any of the other zodiac signs they have in their chart. But at the very least, I will tell you this is a solid starting off point. Let's jump in by talking about the Taurus moon. This is a child that's going to need to be comfy. This is a child that's probably going to know what they like. They're going to want to stick with what they like. And good luck trying to get them to change their mind or try something new if they don't really want to. You might notice that they have some sensory sensitivities, like different textures, like clothing or food. It's the little things like that that are very loud to them because Taurus is such a sensory sign. This child is probably going to have their favorite stuffed animal or their favorite pillow or certain comfort things that it's important to give them access to. They also really benefit from consistency, from a routine. I mean, Taurus is fixed earth. Taurus wants to know what to expect, wants to know that they're going to feel comfortable and that their needs are going to be met. Oh my gosh, I also recommend keeping a good little stash of snacks on deck with this child. Bringing it back to that sensory experience, hunger might be really uncomfortable. Additionally, these children are going to move at their own pace. If a Taurus moon doesn't want to move, they're not going to move. You try to push them a little too hard to move, they are going to dig their heels in so hard. That stubbornness. There is a loyalty to themselves that I think the Taurus moon naturally is kind of oriented toward. They're not always going to be as open to having conversations, like even if you explain the why, it might not go that far for them. Helping instill some sort of a internal like reward system or establishing that, all right, if we do this or we don't do this, there are going to be natural consequences and you get to decide. That might be really helpful because truly the Taurus moon operates from the inside out. They're not going to be as easy to manipulate or kind of push around. Honestly, I could learn a thing or two from them, but I know it doesn't always make like toddler years very easy. Sometimes Taurus moons are resistant to feeling uncomfortable feelings. You might notice that they tend to shut down or they might want to suppress anything uncomfortable. And it's important to teach them healthy outlets, healthy ways to communicate about their feelings or face their feelings, because if you have years and years of that kind of suppressing or not facing the uncomfortable stuff, you know, it just builds up. It doesn't go away. There can also be these possessive type qualities that we see with the Taurus moon child, right? They might be very attached to you. They don't want to share you. They might not want to share their snacks or their toys. And you can see, obviously, how your child shows up. Not every Taurus moon is going to be exactly the same. Keeping an eye out for that and making sure to model healthy behavior really is in that attachment to stability and to what is predictable that can really become a trap for Taurus moons as they grow up. Above all else, these little ones are loyal and strong and solid. There's a Venusian influence. I mean, this is certainly not a bad moon sign, but it is so important to learn about all these little nuances. Scorpio moon. We already know this is a big one, right? Let me first start off by clarifying that just because your child has a Scorpio moon does not mean that they automatically have a mother wound. We see a stereotype associated with Scorpio moon. The question comes up, why did it not feel safe for you to let yourself be emotionally seen or connected? Why are you so preoccupied with the themes of like betrayal and abandonment? First of all, not every Scorpio moon is the same. And second of all, the emotional needs that this child has are just different. Even in the best case scenario, the Scorpio moon child could end up still feeling alone simply because you might not guess how sensitive they are. So truly, just having this understanding of them can make such a difference for them. Couple things you need to know. First of all, this child isn't going to miss a thing. They are observant AF. They see everything. They feel everything. Even before they can understand it, they're picking up on it. I really do think Scorpio moons are some of the most intuitive moon signs we have as a whole. A lot of times they might be picking up on whatever suppressed feelings, trauma, or dynamics that you might not even realize you've been suppressing. That's how deep it goes. And Scorpio is here to be the alchemist. So I'm fully convinced that when a Scorpio moon enters a family system, there is some sort of major alchemy happening and some huge invitation for healing and transformation for all of you. It's important for them to feel safe revealing these parts of themselves to you. Model healthy, safe vulnerability. You might not even want to expect it from them right away. You just show up and show them it's safe to be vulnerable. Do not try to lie to them. Do not try to gaslight them. And I know it's tricky because these children might pick up on stuff that honestly they're too young to really know about or be able to have you explain to them. But it can create this really intense dissonance when they're picking up on something that is loud and clear to them. And then they're being told, oh no, everything's fine. So I'm going to leave it to you to kind of decide how you want to navigate that, but they know, they feel it. They have big feelings. Scorpio is fixed water. Water deals with all things emotional and between the lines. We don't want it to get stagnant in there. We don't want them to feel alone with their emotions and not know where to put them. But at the same time, Scorpio moons are probably very protective of anybody else knowing how sensitive they are. Part of them might always be scanning for any feeling of rejection or betrayal for that moment that you felt like they were being too much or you saw that they were too much. Establish safety and remember that they really are much more sensitive and they feel much more vulnerable internally than they're probably ever going to want to let on. I also want you to be very mindful of any shame-based approach to parenting. Because Scorpio moons tend to kind of withdraw, close up, and observe you when they don't feel safe, that is kind of the foundation of shame, right? This separation. Until a Scorpio knows they're safe, they're going to want to stay hidden. And if they stay hidden for too long, they're going to start to over-identify with being hidden and being in the dark spaces. And I think that's why shame comes up so frequently with Scorpio moon. Model self-compassion for them. Lead with compassion. And on that note, let's talk about the alchemy, because that's what Scorpio's here to do, is alchemize, to peek into the dark and scary spaces that most of us want to pretend don't exist. And in doing so, they can usually find the light, extract the light, create the meaning. So finding healthy outlets, if they have big feelings, if they have anger, let's go outside and throw a ball around. You're really sad because your friend was leaving. Oh my gosh, how beautiful. You're probably so sad because you love your friend so much. Continue to remind them of the inherent light that exists within or around darkness, because that's one of the most incredible gifts they're here to offer us. And of course, I'm running out of time on this one because these are such deep archetypes. Stay tuned for the next one. I love you all.